Islam sees itself very much as part of the long Judeo-Christian biblical prophetic tradition with which most Americans certainly are familiar. Muslims accept the Torah and the Hebrew Bible in its entirety, as well as the Gospels and the rest of the New Testament, as part of the revelation of God that comes from Adam, the first man, and according to Islam, the first prophet, to Muhammad, the seal of the prophets. They see this as one long narrative, a master narrative in which the revelation of God, the self-communication of God is passed down through the prophetic consciousness of one prophet after another, after another, after another. And in fact, Islam takes this one step further and talks about a concept called the al-Kitab, the mother of books. This notion that exists in the Quran that all revealed scriptures, whether they be the Hebrew Bible or the New Testament, or whether they be the Bhagavad Gita or the Upanishads or the Gathas, all revealed scriptures are essentially derived from a single source in heaven called the Mother of Books, and that God's self-communication has been passed down to humanity not in its entirety, but in pieces, and as the Quran says, deliberately so, for God could have, as the Quran says, created one nation, one book, and one prophet, but he chose instead to create many nations and many books and many laws and many prophets so that, the Quran says, the nations may know one another. So there is this concept within Islam that all religions are inextricably linked to each other through this passing on of a prophetic consciousness. I think, to me, that's a really beautiful way of thinking about religion. Now, of course, Muslims believe that that comes to an end at the Prophet Muhammad, but I think an argument could be made that the revelation of God did not stop with the Prophet's last breath, that God is ever-present and eternal, and that the human societies, the human nations that he made are in a constant state of evolution. They did not come to a stop 14 centuries ago.